everyone, Mr. Ross again, doing some more terrain. This time it's the main Kill Team box set. So it's the first Kill Team box set, I must add, because they have released another one now. And this is the terrain I prefer the most, and it's totally interchangeable. And you can add it on to Sector Imperialis, the munitions, the administration building, all the different buildings, the Promethean pipes, even link up there, the conquest terrain, all of it is interchangeable, and it's lovely terrain. I would do an unboxing on it, but sadly I didn't unbox this. It's been out for a while. It is actually quite rare now because it's so popular. But you can buy it separately. Not out of the Kill Team box anymore because they don't make that Kill Team box. And this was donated by scruffy looking nerf herder Simon. Easy for me to say. For our local club. So he's donated it. I said I would paint it up for our club. Got loads and loads and loads of terrain in this box, so like I said, it's all interchangeable, so you can put it on like that. It's brilliant. I've got loads and loads and loads in this box, so much so I can't put it all on camera. But pieces and pieces and pieces. It was such a good buy. I'm a bit gutted I missed out on it. I mean, look at the size of that piece alone. Can't even get on camera. Can I pan back anymore? Nope, I really can't pan back anymore. So there's loads in this box. So there's loads of different ways to paint this. I'm literally just going to go through the whole damn thing with a rattle can and airbrush it. So I might not even do a video on it. I might just show you the before and after. I don't know yet. I think what I'm going to do is paint it a nice khaki colour. So, I know it seems crazy because it is pretty much a khaki colour anyway, but I'm going to spray it with a grey rattle can and put a khaki colour like that on the whole thing because I do quite like this colour. And then probably throw a wash over it and then dry brush the hell out of it and pick out any detail. So, skulls and things like that I'll probably pick out. And maybe leave this section blank, I'm not entirely sure. I'm just going to go with it. Maybe do this a bit lighter. I do quite like the other building I've done previously. The administration building, I think it was called, something like that. I did it like a dark red brick colour. I've even done a video on how to do the hazard stripes for the doors. This one doesn't have doors, it has windows. But the other one had like piston operated doors on the side. It shows you how you can quickly airbrush some hazard stripes on something with some airbrush tape. So that was more industrial. This is more citadel kind of looking. So I'm going to blast it with some khaki colours. Pick out some details, there's some gauges and stuff on the side. And I'll show you in stages what I'm doing anyway. So maybe not from the word go, because it might be a bit boring. See me airbrush this whole damn thing. But airbrush saves so much time when it comes to this level of terrain. Okay, let's see how I get on. Okay, so like I said, I used a cheap rattle can just to get some aerosol in there so it keys a little bit to the ruins. And I'm going to start laying down some of these, which is pretty much the same colour as it was before. Just didn't want the the paint coming off, so I'll key some aerosol on it first. So I've got my little pot. And I've put some airbrush paint in it. Shouldn't have to thin this down much at all because it is an airbrush paint. Okay, so I'll start with a small bit first. Probably best wearing gloves. Lay down a couple of thin coats, just so you can keep all the detail. So the first coat, just a smattering, get a bit of the colour to it. Just so. Now rinse and repeat on all the other bits. Good, airbrush is kicking in. Okay. Come back when it's all done. Okay, what I decided to do next is, with the airbrush, mix a very dark brown, and I'm talking, I would say like a burnt umber-y colour, so nearly black, but just a hint of brown, just on the areas that's been blasted apart there. So, any destroyed pieces, any bits in windows that you think may have been on fire in the past, so like this bit here, you can see plumes of smoke may have been coming out. Destroyed stuff there, there we go. Or, there's the main building here, so I'm surrounded by, this box really has got a load of terrain going on. Like this bit here, so you can see the smoke has been pouring out the window in the past. And once it was all dry, you can probably see just here, just picking up a little bit of detail. I've used the good old makeup brush again. A big old makeup brush, because you know how much I love my makeup, right? And an off-white, so almost like a very light grey. Picking out all the detail. From then, I decided anything pipework related, like this, that I wanted picked out silver, I've painted just with a generic silver, and then when that was all dry, I added a wash. So same with anything like, I don't know, a radiator, because I don't know why they got radiators. Bigger cathedral, I suppose, is going to get cold, so they have a radiator. So I've been adding some Agrax Earthshade, one of my favourite shades from Citadel, good old Games Workshop. This stuff I love putting on pretty much anything. So I dirtied up all the silver pieces, all the pipes of this. Now I'm allowing it to dry. So for the next stage, I'm going to pick what colour I should do for the top of my building. So any flat surface, let me get on with that. Okay, so it was already primed grey, and I decided to keep it grey. So the areas that had explosions and fire and smoke coming out of it, like this, decided to do the same trick again with a bit of the old burnt umber-y colour. And in any of the details, like these rivets here, I'm picking out with the good old Agrax again. So, cracking open for round 2 of doing these nuts and bolts and things. So what I was thinking was I'll run a little bit around each of the squares as well. So I'll go around here, just to make it look a little bit recessed. like so. It doesn't look terribly neat because this building's been blown up. It's been on fire in the past by the looks of it because there's smoke coming out of it. Now you can go as mad as you like with the detail on these. Even though it's a blown up building, you can still pick out any of the cracks with this Agrax earth shade. Or you can pick out, there's loads of like small piping, electrical conduits even. You even get control panels and good old valves and gauges. Because GW do like a bit of that on their old scenery. So just very casually picking out any of the big cracks. And later on, any of the rivets, they're on edges of buildings, sides of buildings, the uprights basically. I'm going to use a bit of this to make it look like rusted water running down. I might even add a little bit of the old riser rust to it as well. Bit of rusty water running down off of rivets. Not all of them, just every now and again, picking up a bit of detail. So I'm going to carry on with that, picking out some detail from the ceiling and the flooring. So I'm going to go underneath and do the same thing. Because I actually do quite like the grey. The grey kind of works with it. I don't want it too bright. I was possibly thinking checkers at one stage, go old school, very 90s Games Workshop piece of scenery. But I think I'll carry on with this for the time being. While I was waiting for all the edging and all the bolts and rivets to dry on the top, I blasted the lights underneath. The centre of the lights I hit with a white first, and then I lightly airbrushed the light itself, and I hit the centre with a slightly brighter red, so I lightly dusted the whole thing with a red and hit the centre with a really hard red. I'm going to wait until that dries. And you don't have to paint these at all. You could have these inert, not working, you know, but I decided add a little splash colour. Not that probably anyone's going to turn the scenery over. So nice and grubby. So I was thinking about picking out the occasional piece of some bronze, but I like the idea that it looks more like sandstone, so I might leave it to that. So earlier on when I dry brushed it, it has popped the detail out a little bit more. But this is how it's looking so far. Lots and lots and lots of pieces. Totally interchangeable and stackable. So I will start setting up some pieces and take some pictures of what I've done so far. So I'm picking out some of the detail, like the skulls, just to break it up just a little bit. And like I said previously, I've done the ceiling lights, and now I'm going to do these lights. What I've done is just faint white, just to make the red pop a bit more. And just start off really gentle. I'll just check, see if this is the red I want. And just do it really gentle. A little background haze of red first. And just build it up. Two nuts straight away. If you think it's too much, or it's too wet, let's go to the next one. See what it looks like when it dries. So, just gently going over the light and the surrounding areas first. Just like that. That's all you need to start with. This one's got a broken lens, so eventually, after I paint the light how I want it to look, so background haze, you know, making it look like Just catching everything surrounding it. I'm going to go over it, and where the lens is broken, put the white light behind it, because in my mind I'm thinking it's not a red bulb and a clear lens, I'm thinking it's a red lens and a white bulb. Like most model paints, airbrush paints dry quite quickly. So I'm going to go back to the first one. And hit the centre a lot brighter. So now I'm doing the light dusting around, where I think the light's going to catch. Just like that. Nice and gentle, bit of background glow. If you're not sure about how to do these, you can always hit a little bit with the airbrush on a blank piece of paper. Just slowly getting stronger and stronger. And it's all about airbrush control, so just nice and gentle at first. I'll finish all these up, and then I'll take some pictures of the overall thing. Okay, so this is the final piece. So this stuff's great. It's totally stackable, so you can add extra heights to it, things like that. So I think what I'll do is get another set, maybe another 2 sets, so I can see how high I can build this stuff. It's fantastic. It's brilliant. I mean, I didn't put massive amounts of detail in it. I wanted it very much like sandstone. So I come from the southwest of England, and my nearest city is Exeter, and they have a very yellowy kind of khaki sandstone cathedral, and that's what I envisage. Obviously they don't have massive glowing lights on the front, things like that, and it's not a bombed out building, but that's the kind of thing I wanted. I didn't want to do too much like the gold plating on the front. I think it kind of would have maybe stuck out a bit too much. So the only real details I've done is, as I've mentioned previously, some of the silvers with a wash over. I've picked out a few of the skulls as well, so you can see some skulls on the building here. Haven't done all the skulls around here. I think it might have been a bit too much, so I've just picked out a little bit of detail. So I've done some gauges, I've done some pipes, done some vents, the burnt out sections, where smoke would have drifted up out of the windows where it was being bombed, things like that, and obviously I've done the lights. So I wanted the basic walls to be 2 colours, which I have done. It doesn't look like it from this distance, and then I dry brushed it another colour, but that's just a dry brush. It's not what I would really call a coat. And yeah, I mean, I've done a different colour on top. I did the grey on the platform. You can probably see the grey there. If not, you can see the grey there. I love stacking this stuff. It's brilliant. So yeah, I've done the basic colours, the khaki colours and the grey, and I've done the blacks and the reds. I didn't want it to be too garish. I wanted it to kind of match the Aquillas that you can see in the background here, because I think it's quite a 40k kind of colour. So yeah, you get quite a lot in the set. I mean, I've made enough for 2, 4, 6, 8 pieces, but it depends how you want to break it down. I think next time I'm going to make a bigger main building. And if I get rid of this stuff a minute, what I'm hoping for is I can either have several stacks, really high towers, or I can do the good old classic cities of death. So when you've got, you know, a couple of buildings side by side and a gap only big enough to just about fit a tank through. So, you know, the good old bottlenecks and everything like that. So tanks are rolling down the high street and getting blown apart. like in the audiobooks I like to listen to about the Horus Heresy, things like that. So, thank you very much for watching, guys. Please hit the like button and subscribe. Any comments, feel free to put them up. Any questions, I'll try to answer to the best of my ability. And if you hit that subscribe button, you'll be notified when we get any more videos coming up. So we often do unboxing videos. Very popular at the moment is Star Wars Legion, and we're hoping to do some Star Wars Legion battle reports soon. But we definitely do 40k battle reports, and we're trying to knock out a few more of those on a more regular basis. So please check some of those out. And I do a lot of terrain, so painting stuff like this for 40k. I mean, this is amazing stuff. Or making some, and I do like to make stuff from household materials, so keeping the old price down. So yeah, please check us out, and see you next time.